Hello learners! My name is Miss Marita, your guide and companion in learning English. Join me as we unwrap another fun and exciting topic here on English Talk. To start, let me give you our objectives for this lesson. Number 1. Determine the relevance and truthfulness of the ideas presented in the material viewed. Number 2. Determine whether the ideas presented are fact, opinion, bias, or fallacy. Now, let's play a game. Read the following statements and you'll have to decide if they are fact or bluff. Let's have the first statement. Filipinos in general value camaraderie, hospitality, kinship, and close family ties. Is it a fact or bluff? The correct answer is fact. How about this second statement? The Philippines is the world's second smallest archipelago nation. Is it a fact or bluff? That's correct. It's a bluff. Let's now have the last statement. The country at one point held the title of a texting capital of the world. Is it a fact or bluff? Yes, you are correct. It's a fact. Telling whether the statement is factual or truthful is definitely hard. Nowadays, social media has become powerful to the point that we cannot distinguish whether what we read or what we view is a real thing. Take this comic strip, for example. What is the topic of the kids' conversation? Correct! The kids are talking about the fake news that they heard and how it confuses them. Are we the same with the kids in the comic strip? Let's try to find out by reading this article. A worrisome coronavirus variant brings hope for better vaccines. People infected with the fast-spreading coronavirus variant mount an immune response that can fend off multiple SARS CoV-2 strains. Scientists first identified the SARS CoV-2 variant called B1.351 in South Africa in late 2020. They have since linked it to reinfections and found hints that several vaccines are less effective against it than against SARS CoV-2 variants circulating earlier in the pandemic. Penny Moore at the National Institute for Communicable Diseases in Johannesburg, South Africa, and her colleagues assessed the antibody responses mounted by 89 people who were infected with B1.351 and were admitted to hospitals. The team found that these participants' antibody levels were similar to those in people infected with earlier strains. The team then pitted antibodies from people infected with B1.351 against a form of HIV modified to use the coronavirus spike protein to infect cells. The antibodies were able to inactivate viruses incorporating the form of spike protein found in B1.351, earlier strains, and an emerging variant identified in Brazil called P1. The results suggest that vaccines based on B1.351's genetic sequence might protect people from multiple strains of the coronavirus, the authors say. The findings have not yet been peer-reviewed. Let's go deeper into the article by answering these questions. What situation is shown in the material viewed? Correct. It shows the different variants of SARS CoV-2 and what scientists try to find out if the variants react to the vaccine. What do you think is the purpose of writing this material? That is right. The article is written to inform people about the research that they did on the different variants of SARS CoV-2 and how it affects our immune system. What present situation can this material be related to? Correct again. This article is very much related to the situation that we are experiencing now about the new COVID-19 variant spreading fast in our country. Now, what details in the article makes it believable? That is correct. The article gives specific details about SARS CoV-2 which only scientists know about, and the article mentions details about the tests that the scientists are doing with regards to SARS CoV-2. How do these details help you decide whether the article is something truthful or not? Yes, details in articles or materials that we view are important for us to identify if it is truthful or not. Details should show statistics and data that are important in the article. The source of the material should also be considered to know if the material viewed is truthful. How does the material viewed influence your idea or opinion about the present situation? That is correct. This article informed us about what is happening with the SARS CoV-2 and why we have new variants spreading in the country. Being informed about what's happening is a powerful tool for us to prevent the further spread of COVID-19. Let us practice more knowledge on judging the relevance and truthfulness of ideas read or viewed. Be ready with your pen and paper. Watch carefully this news report and answer the following questions. Are you ready? Let's start.
President Duterte is expected to announce on Monday night the quarantine restrictions for the NCR Plus area from April 5 until the end of the month, along with details on the cash assistance that will be given to affected workers. According to the Department of Budget and Management, almost 23 million Filipinos from Metro Manila, Bulacan, Rizal, Laguna, and Cavite stand to receive financial aid from the government. The budget will come from the 23 billion pesos of unutilized funds of the Bayanihan 2 Act. The President is currently studying the proposal.
Meron naman pong pagkukunan tayo para sa Special Amelioration Assistance na ibibigay natin sa mga naapektuhan itong ating ECQ. At ang mga detalye po nito, hindi ko po pa po maisisiwalat sapagkat ito po ay nasa kamay pa ng Office of the President.
Defense Secretary Delphine Lorenzana says government is not ruling out the possibility of extending the ECQ. Malacanang, however, notes the need to balance this with the economic impact of a prolonged ECQ.
Kinukonsiderin natin yung epekto sa ekonomiya at saka sa lipunan mismo. Kaya nga po, total health ang ating goal, hindi lang po pagbalanse ng kalusugan at ekonomiya. Kasi po, kasama na sa kalusugan yung pagkagutom dahil po sa lockdown.
The palace meanwhile lashed out against critics of the government's pandemic response, saying the sudden surge in new COVID-19 cases is due to mutations of the virus.
Huwag po kayo makinig dyan sa mga utak talangka na yan. Buong mundo po may problema sa new variant. Hindi po tayo nag-iisa. Kinakailangan, wag lang lokal na television ang panuurin nyo. Panuurin nyo po rin po ang CNN at ang BBC nang makita nyo na ang dami na ring bansa sa daigdig ngayon ang nagla-lockdown.
Pia Gutierrez, ABS-CBN News.
Let's check your understanding of the news clip. Number 1. What is the news about? A. It is about the rise in COVID-19 cases. B. It is about the Social Amelioration Program. C. It is about the cash assistance and the possible ECQ extension. And D. It is about the economic and societal impact of the ECQ extension. Time's up. What's your answer? You're right. It is letter C. The news clip from the ANC tells us that the government will provide cash assistance and the possibility of prolonging the ECQ. But the government mentioned that there is a need to balance the pandemic response to the economic status of our country. Next item. Number 2. What is the purpose of the news clip? A. To inform. B. To encourage. C. To entertain. Or D. To persuade. Pens up. What is your answer? Correct. It is letter A. It is to inform the citizens that there is an allocated budget for the cash assistance and there is a possibility to prolong the ECQ. The third question. What makes the news clip truthful? A. The news clip is from a well-known news site. B. The news clip has a convincing broadcaster. C. The news clip provides factual information. And D. The news clip shows prominent government officials. Time's up. Let's check your answer. Very good. The answer is letter C. The news clip provides factual information such as the data on budget given by Secretary Wendell Avisado. It does not merely report the news but gives information directly from the people concerned. Facts are necessary in judging the truthfulness of ideas. Let's now proceed to the last question. Which of the following makes this news clip relevant? A. It states issues that are prevalent nowadays. B. It provides information that the public needs. C. It contains pertinent answers on issues. And D. All of the above. Time's up. What is your answer? That's right. All of the choices are correct. In determining the relevance of the materials viewed, it should reflect prevalent issues, answer societal questions, and provide information that is beneficial to the public. Ideas are relevant when it is socially shared or personally relatable. Like the news clip, everyone is concerned about the ECQ and the cash assistance by the government. How are your scores? Did you get it all correct? If yes, good job! Remember that in this world of social media, our capability to judge the truthfulness and relevance of ideas around us is imperative. Let us always take into account that before we believe articles or materials that we read, we must check if it's factual or not. And in order to do so, let's have the following tips. First, we have to consider sources. Investigate the site that you're viewing or reading. In doing so, you will know if what you're reading is giving factual information. Second, read beyond. Headlines of articles or materials can be outrageous in an effort to get clicks. But the question is, what is the whole story? We have to read and look for details in articles that we view. This will help us to identify if it is truthful or not. Statistics and data are some of the details we can all use in a material. Lastly, check the author. Have a quick search of the author to find out if they're real and credible. During this pandemic, social media has played an important role in spreading information at a rapid rate. It also allows us to access news to keep us updated. But we need to remember that not everything we see or hear in social media is true. We must always think before we react. Checking the legitimacy of the information will keep us from being a victim of fake news. Learning is fun when you're motivated to learn. Don't forget to share what you have learned today with your family and friends. See you next time for another fun and exciting topic here in English Talk.